we're talking about Canadian Flowers Week. We're going to go live from Gladstone in a little bit. It's all about local.
Setup there.
This plant
is not
special.
from here.
It's not from here.
From here.
It's from far, far away. It's been around long before us.
Yes.
And
we'll be around long after us, probably.
It smells, but not like roses. It's the opposite.
Unless it's Mr. Rose. Yeah, it literally smells like a corpse. It smells like rotting flesh.
It stinks, and it's about to bloom at the zoo. It's one of those things where it's like it smells so bad you have to go and see and smell it. And joining us to tell us more is the curatorial gardener, Paul Galatly. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
You're very brave to be standing so closely to the corpse flower right now.
How does it smell right now?
It doesn't smell bad at all yet. It won't start smelling until it starts to officially open up.
Okay. How long does this thing grow? And apparently it's prematurely blooming. So take us through that process.
Yeah, absolutely. We're about 4 to 5 years ahead of schedule. We got our first ones from the Niagara Parks Commission in 2013. They usually take 10, sometimes even 15 years to bloom the first time. So ours is way ahead of schedule, blooming at only 5 years old. It is a little bit smaller than what you might expect otherwise because of its young age. It came out of a 24-pound corm as opposed to the 200-pound corm that Edmonton just had bloom.
Wow. So Frankie's taking notes. What's your secret to get it blooming that early?
Yeah, how do you know it's about to bloom?
How'd you do it?
I think it's just perfect conditions, to be totally honest. It is from south of the equator, which is their springtime. So I think that sort of, it's in that timing. We've sort of perfect conditions. It's in the greenhouse. It's got really good shade cloth above it. It's just ready to go.
And what does it smell like when it does go? Like, does it smell like steak?
It's ripe. Steak that has gone bad would be sort of the best way to describe it. It's a cross between sort of rotting meat, corpse, a little bit of mothballs, some feces. It's really not a pretty smell.
Now, what is the purpose of that? Like, what sorts of insects should this attract for pollination purposes? Can you explain? What is this disgusting plant?
Yeah,
who loves it, in other words?
Yes, who loves this plant?
Who loves it?
I love it. Actually, yeah, it smells to attract the carrion beetles, which is a beetle that it's drawn to it. The beetle will come to lay eggs in a corpse or a piece of meat. So the plant is actually tricking the beetles into coming over and getting the pollination done. So it smells the worst the first night, and then by the second night, the smell is still there, but not nearly as intense.
And why did it do this? Why can't it just be like other flowers and smell pretty?
Yeah.
I think just that fact that only every 10, 15, sometimes even 20 years, you only get a bloom for 1 day to 2 days. So it's got to get it done right the first time.
It's so short-lived. So if we want to try and track it to get the maximum bloom,
maximum smell, you want to smell it. That's the whole reason.
When do we show up to the zoo? Can you track that part down?
We can. We'll be actually putting the actual date that it does open. We'll put that up on the Toronto Zoo website. We're actually opening the zoo today for viewers to come in during regular business hours. It is a special exhibit, but you can come in and actually see it before it blooms. So that way, if you're a little bit afraid of the smell, which some people are, you can still enjoy the flower before it actually kicks into the smell. Okay. The smell will be the most intense that first night.
And how big is the space you're in? Will that smell fill that entire area?
Yeah.
100%. The smell will probably go outside of the greenhouse. It's really intense.
This is such a rare thing. Like, I'm very curious at this point. If you could hazard a guess on live TV, I'm putting you on the spot, as to when you think this thing will bloom, is going to blow, when would it be?
Well, this one's been tricking me. What normally happens is it grows quite quickly. It grows 2 to 3 inches a night, and then it slows right down. And when it stops, it usually gives you a 2-day warning. It still, even last night, grew 1/4 of an inch. So it's still inching up and saying, I'm not quite done yet. It's unpredictable even at the best of times. There's only been about 200 of these bloom around the world. So we're all learning from each other as this happens. I'm still guessing it's going to be this week. It looks like it may go into the weekend, but we will post all the information on the website as soon as we know.
Head to the Toronto Poo, everybody. It's going to smell like something.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
It will be. Thank
you so much.
They're also running extended hours, too.
Oh, are they?
When it does open, they're going to run extended hours.
They have to. If it happens at midnight, you got to be there.
You got to be there, right?
Yeah.